Hey there, it's Sheryl. Today we're going to talk about one secret to train your brain. Okay, I know it sounds a little strange, but it's true. Bear with me. It's amazing. World-class performers use it, and it's something that you can do too so that you can make some progress in things that are important to you. I am so excited to share this with you. Now keep in mind, a lot of times we see other people's sizzle reel and we don't see what's real. Now it happens to our kids at school when they see other kids that are getting straight A's and they're really pretty and they seem to be amazing on the outside, which I'm sure they are, but we also don't see the behind the scenes. It happens at work where we're an intern or we're a senior manager, maybe even a CEO. It happens at all levels that we see people's sizzle reels, but we don't see what's real. In other words, we don't see their struggle, we don't see their messiness, and you know what? It's there. We all have it, and so what's important is that we focus on us on our march to be world class and what's important to us. So that's what we're going to talk about today, ways that you can actually change your brain chemistry so you can make it more likely that you'll make progress in what's important to you. So let's get started. First of all, what we're going to talk about today, and the one thing that I'm going to really focus on is positive affirmations. Now, I've talked about these before, but there's a lot of pretty interesting and new research out that says that what we say to ourselves over and over and over again, in other words, what we're thinking, can actually change our brains on a cellular level. Now, that can be amazing if we're thinking of positive things, but it can also be a little destructive if our thoughts and emotions are not conducive to what we want to get done. So we're going to talk a little bit today about positive emotions, how to use those so you can make some amazing progress in what's important to you. The first thing is with affirmations, and again, if you don't know what affirmations are, you haven't heard me talk about them before, they're just things that we say to ourselves over and over again, things that are important to us and things that we know that we're capable of. Now, sometimes unconsciously we say affirmations that are negative. In other words, if we make a mistake, we might say, oh, I'm so incompetent, I can't believe I did that. You're actually affirming that you're incompetent. We don't do that on purpose, of course, but it's time to kind of raise your level of awareness to make sure that you're not doing that. Today, we're going to talk about positive affirmations and how to use them. Now, the first thing about positive affirmations is you need to maintain a can-do attitude. In other words, sometimes we need to be actors or actresses. So we might be going into something that maybe we're not 100% sure that we can do it. Or maybe we've set a goal that we're really not sure that we can actually accomplish it, but you need to maintain that it's at least possible. So if you're going into a presentation, and the assumption is that you're prepared. Okay, we're going to start with that. But if you're going into a presentation and you're not 100% sure how it will be received, it's very important that you affirm to yourself that it will be received well, and then you focus your efforts on what you have control over. So remain and have a can-do and positive attitude when thinking about your affirmations. The second thing is the can-do attitude is one, and the second thing that I already talked about a little bit is keeping a positive attitude, because the more positive we are, it's kind of like it builds up momentum, and the more positive we are, the more confident we're going to be, and also it's going to raise our level of self-efficacy. Now, self-efficacy just means our belief in ourself that we can get something done. So that, of course, helps with motivation as well. So in other words, keep a can-do attitude and keep a positive attitude, even when things don't look so good or even when you make errors. So that's a habit to get into, and like any habit, it's going to take some practice. And then finally, I've mentioned this before because I'm working with the founder and developer, CEO of the app Think Up. Her name is Irene Wald. I really want to encourage you to try this app, Think Up. This is something I tell everyone all the time, whether you work with me one-on-one or whether I come into your company, do some group work, or you've just been following me for a while. I talk a lot about how to dream big and do small. Well, checking out this app, Think Up. It is something that you can do, that you have control over, that's very small. It only takes a couple of minutes, and it can really be vital on your march to be amazing. So I'm including the link in the text portion of this content. So I encourage you to check it out. There's a free version and a paid version. And it's very simple, very, very simple. There's basically 3 buttons in the whole thing. Basically, the premise is there's a bunch of positive affirmations that you can choose. I have a category in there, but you don't need to choose any of my affirmations, although it's fun if you check them out. But you choose ones that are appropriate to you. You pick a few of those, and then you record them in your own voice. And then you also pair it with some music. It's been proven in science that if we hear positive affirmations with our own voice, and it's paired to certain types of music, it actually can change our brain chemistry. So that is so crazy, especially when you are changing it for the better. This can be done, let's say 10 minutes a night, every night before you go to bed. And it's just something small that you can do that can pay huge, huge dividends down the road. So I want to ask you, what transformations do you want to see in yourself in the coming weeks or months for the coming years? And it starts with positive affirmations. It starts with believing you can. And this app, Think Up, is something small that you can do to help you start this journey. So I hope you found this useful. A couple tips, tools, and habits on how to change your brain to be world class. Please do reach out to me if I can help you and or your team in any way. I look forward to seeing you next time.